Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
What if you could take all those huge dreams you have, buying that perfect house, securing your child's future, or just having a truly peaceful retirement, and turn them into a simple, clear, step-by-step plan? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's get into it.
This quote right here is the absolute foundation for everything we're about to discuss. Think about it. Before you can build anything real, a house, a business, a secure future, you've got to build the blueprint for it in your mind first. Real financial success isn't about getting lucky. It's about having a deliberate design.
Just for a second, think about your biggest goals in life. That dream home, sending your kids to the best college, traveling the world, or even just kicking back and enjoying a retirement without any stress. But how do you actually bridge that huge gap between just dreaming about it and actually achieving it? And maybe even more important, how do you get your family on board so it's a journey you take together? That's where a lot of us get stuck, right? So let's unpack the solution. The answer, my friends, is a powerful strategy called goal-based investing. It's a total shift in how you think about money. We're moving away from just randomly saving and hoping for the best to making every single rupee you have work for a very specific purpose.
Here's the core idea, and it's super simple. Instead of having one giant pot of savings and kind of wondering what it's all for, you give every single rupee a specific job. It's like, okay, this pile of money is for the car down payment, this pile is for retirement, and this one over here, that's our emergency fund. All of a sudden, your saving isn't random anymore. It has real intention and it has a clear direction.
And this is the philosophy that changes everything. You are in the driver's seat. Your life's ambitions tell your money where to go, not the other way around. We're flipping the script. Instead of investing first and then hoping you can afford your dreams someday, you define your dreams first and then build an investment plan designed specifically to make them happen.
Okay, so that all sounds great, right? But how do we actually put it into practice? Well, we need a clear framework. A simple 4-point system that you can literally apply to any financial goal you have, whether it's big or small. These are the 4 essential pillars for every single goal. Seriously, if you can define these 4 things, you've just transformed a vague dream into an actual, actionable mission. This is your roadmap. So let's break down each one. First up, the timeline. Now, what's really cool about this is how it connects time directly to risk. For your short-term goals, things like an emergency fund or buying a bike in the next couple of years, well, you just can't afford to take risks with that money. Your primary job is to protect it, so you use super safe options like liquid or debt funds. But for those big long-term goals like your kid's education that's 15 years away, you need that money to grow. Time is your best friend here, so you can use something like equity to really unleash the power of compounding. See? The timeline literally dictates the entire strategy. Now let's jump to the second element, target value. Let's use an example. Imagine your child's college education costs 10 lakh rupees right now, today. That seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Planning with today's numbers is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And here's why. There's this silent thief out there called inflation, and its only job is to make everything more expensive year after year. That 10 lakhs you need today, it won't even come close to covering the fees when it's actually time to pay up.
And boom. Look at that. In just 10 years, that same degree could cost 25 lakhs. Can you imagine? If you only saved 10, you'd be in for a rude awakening. So, the lesson here is absolutely critical. Your target value must always be adjusted for inflation. You're planning for the future cost, not today's price.
And here's a really powerful idea to think about for when you've actually saved the money. Now, this might sound a bit strange, but consider taking out an education loan anyway. You can then pay the monthly installments from the fund you've already built. Why would you do this? Well, it helps your child build a credit history and, more importantly, a real sense of ownership and responsibility. It turns it from just a financial transaction into an incredible life lesson.
Okay, on to our third element, the investment vehicle. This is where people can get a little overwhelmed. How do you choose where to put your money? Well, it seems complicated, but it all boils down to a very simple rule that's tied directly to your timeline. Long-term goals need growth, so you look to equity. Short-term goals need safety, so you rely on debt. And for those immediate needs or emergencies, liquid funds give you that perfect combo of safety and easy access. This is so crucial. Your financial plan becomes your anchor in a stormy market. When things get crazy or some new hot trend pops up, you don't panic. You don't chase returns. You just stick to the plan. Why? Because your plan is built on your life goals, not on fear or market hype. And now for the fourth and honestly the most overlooked element of all, the exit strategy. It's not enough to just grow the money, you have to know how to protect it as you get close to the finish line. This is where the brilliant 3-3-3 rule comes in. Think of it like landing a plane. 3 years before you need the money, you start moving it out of riskier equity and into more stable debt. Then, 3 months out, you shift from debt into ultra-safe liquid funds. And finally, 3 weeks before the big day, you have the cash ready to go. This simple process makes sure that a last-minute market crash can't destroy a decade of your hard work.
So now that we have the framework, the how, let's talk about the why. Because this is about so much more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about how you feel about your life, your family, and your future.
This right here gets to the very heart of why we even bother to plan. A financial plan isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. It's about freedom from worry. It's knowing, deep down, that you can afford your dreams without the constant stress. It transforms money from a source of anxiety into a tool for building the life you actually want. And let me tell you, peace of mind is the ultimate return on investment.
And that is the ultimate benefit, isn't it? Goal-based investing gives you a clear, simple roadmap. It takes that tangled mass of abstract dreams and anxieties and turns it into a straight line of clear, achievable actions. It literally transforms financial anxiety into pure confidence. Of course, no financial journey is complete without talking about one of life's certainties, taxes. I know. But instead of seeing them as this big, bad burden, we should just see them as another predictable landmark on our roadmap. Okay, let's quickly touch on taxes, because planning for them is just part of the game. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritty, but here's the big picture. For most equity funds, if you hold them for more than a year, your profits are taxed at a simple flat rate. With debt funds, you're also taxed, but you get this really cool benefit called indexation, which basically helps reduce your tax by accounting for inflation. And then you have special tax-saving funds like ELSS. These give you a tax break right now, but in return, you have to lock in your money for at least 3 years. The key takeaway is super simple. How long you stay invested can make a huge difference in the tax you end up paying.
So let's bring this all home. Every single dream you have, for yourself, for your family, is important. It deserves way more than just wishful thinking. It deserves clarity, it deserves discipline, and it deserves a real roadmap to guide you there. And that is exactly what goal-based investing gives you.
So, now I have a question for you. What's the #1 goal that's on your mind right now? Is it buying a car? Saving for that big trip? Maybe planning for retirement? Drop a comment below and let me know what financial goal you'd like me to break down in a future explainer.
You know, the single most powerful thing you can do after watching this is to just start. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Just pick one goal, define those 4 elements we talked about, and take that very first step. Believe me, your future self is going to be incredibly grateful that you did. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more. And as always, remember to live rich and leave rich.